women want the top dogs, okay? As much as women want to say we like dad bods, we like this, no, we don't. No, we don't. That's what society taught us to like. They taught us to not have standards, to not care about physical appearance and all this other stuff. At the end of the day, we want the top dog, the top genetics, the top earning, the strongest and the tallest at the end of the damn day. Okay? It could be about maybe 1 million man on this planet, just of the top tier, and we'd be fine. Like, honestly, most women don't have a problem with polyamory and all these other things if it's the top dog you're dealing with. That's why a lot of these wealthy men have how many baby mamas does Elon Musk have? How many baby mamas all these popular, famous artists have? All these, billionaires and millionaires, they have multiple baby mamas. Don't ever get that mistaken, okay? We want the top dog. We want a big dog. We don't want no puppy. And we saw that with Anthony Joshua, who just hit the streets like crack in the 80s, okay? Every woman internationally united, okay? Because we want the top dog. Women, we all say, I would never submit to this man. I'm not going to do this, and blah, blah, blah. And men complain, women are difficult, this and this. You think a woman would be difficult with a man like that? You think a woman would be difficult with Luigi Mangione or Jeremy Meeks or the Aaron Pierres, whatever your flavor is, your preferred flavor is, okay? At the end of the day, you gotta be a big dog if you want big requests. And most of you, please, just please.
We know, and y'all would be getting dogged out. And then y'all would start asking, where are the good men? Why this man keep on dogging me out? He keeps on giving his love and affection to this woman. That's what y'all would start saying. Even though y'all are basic. But of course.
Men are natural problem solvers. That's actually how they get their sense of value. If a man is in a relationship and something's not working, then that becomes a problem for him to solve. That's not something that he's going to avoid or let fester and get worse. That's a problem for him to fix. So if you're struggling in a relationship, that man's not fixing the problem. He's not taking responsibility. He's not leading the repair to make it better. Then he's sending you a very clear message. That is not confusion. Women are conditioned to think that's confusion and that if we're patient, eventually he'll figure it out. Don't do that. That is a message, and he's doing it for one of two reasons. One, he doesn't care enough about the relationship to fix it. He doesn't care enough about going through some personal discomfort, changing himself to fix the problem. Or two, he's completely unsuccessful in life. He's completely inept at solving problems, and you shouldn't want that man anyways. Either way, you deserve better. You deserve a man who knows how to fix a problem. You deserve a man who's going to take the lead to repair what's wrong. If you take this man now, with the current behavior, that's only an indication of what the future will bring. That's only an indication that when the problems are so great, he's not going to be able to fix them. If you want more dating content, leave me a comment below. I love all your comments.
Could it also be that you are a problem as well? Could it be that? Of course not. Could it be that you're the issue, the problem in the relationship? Why would that be? You're perfect as a woman.
There's talk about how men are not obsessed with women anymore, right? And I think that could be said for both genders, men and women. But let me further explain. I think that the men and women who got any sense about themselves, any common sense, they understand by this point at their big old age that it just takes more, right? Like for women, yes, you want a man to have money. But women who have common sense understand that it takes more than him just having money, right? The ignorant women, they really just caught up in the money. But the women with substance understand, yes, I want you to have money. You cannot be broke, right? But that cannot be the end all. Your character is very important to this situation. Your money cannot override you having good character, you being a good person, you being a good partner. And the same for men, but it's just in reverse because women's looks is they money, right? So with men, they see pretty women all the time. So at this point, it's like, okay, you pretty. What else? Right? Because if that's all you got to offer me, I don't want it, right? I didn't had enough pretty girls. I see pretty girls all the time. What do you have of substance? What else do you offer besides your looks? Right? Again, both men and women who got any sense about themselves realize, no, as a man, I don't want no woman that I'm not attracted to. I don't want no ugly woman. But I also need you to understand that I need you to have more than just your looks. And for women, it's like, no, I don't want a broke man. I want a man that has money, but your money can't be the only thing that you have to offer. And that's just what it is. And both who got sense are in the same position, which is, if I can't get that, I'm perfectly fine riding this ride alone. Right? It is what it is. If I can't get what I want, I just don't want nothing. But then you got you weirdos out here who so obsessed with looks and so obsessed with money that y'all will overlook anything, right, to get that. But again, the ones with the sense, they understand.
What gets me is that you men walk around screaming, y'all don't need a woman. But when a woman screams, she don't need a man, it's a problem. Same difference to me. What I mean by that is, y'all get old too. And a lot of men die alone because y'all be screaming, oh, I don't need a woman. I could do this and I could do that. Or I could find another woman that'll do this and another woman that'll do that. Okay. But how long do you think women gonna want your ass? I mean, of course, yeah, they gonna always want you. But how long is they gonna want you? Are you catching my drift? Or you get what I'm saying? When you turn 60, 70 years old, you gonna be in that house by your motherfucking self. All because all those years you kept screaming, oh, I don't need a woman, bitch, you can go, you can do this, you can do that. I'll find another you in a minute and all that bullshit.
No, I'm not catching your drift. No, I'm not catching it. Men don't want foolishness. Catch that drift. Men don't want to be involved with chaos and drama. Modern women don't seem to catch that drift either.
The reason why he's not obsessed with you and is not going out of his way for you is because you do not know how to set boundaries. You are so easily impressed. You give in to anything that he says. If he asks you to come over to his place as a date and you say, okay, sure, should I bring a bottle of wine? No. You are showing him that you are so easy to impress. You're driving to him. You're coming up with something to bring to the occasion when all you really need to bring is yourself. But even then, you accepting a date of you coming over to his place is not going to get him to see you as valuable. Men will test you just to see what they can get away with. It's just naturally how they are, because if they don't have to put in work into something, they won't, right? But if you show them that these are expectations that they need to follow, and this is something that you expect for yourself, like, no, I would like to be taken out to dinner. I don't come over, I don't really feel comfortable with that yet, but I would love to see you, so let me know what you decide. I just realized I'm lost my earring, whatever. Anyways, you guys need to stop giving in so easily to these men. They're not gonna feel like they have to work that hard to get you to like them. Men value things they actually have to work a little bit harder for. Trust me, they do. If you ignore their text, you don't respond right away, if you don't give in to their requests easily, they're gonna see, like, I gotta step it up a bit. Okay, they're gonna see that you carry yourself a certain way, you have standards for yourself, and they need to match that. And if they're not matching that, they know you have an energy that you could just walk away. And that's the reason why they do not see you as this prize, because you don't see yourself as a prize. You have to see yourself as the prize, and they will act accordingly if they like you, or it will make them see you again as putting you up on that pedestal. You have to put yourself on that pedestal, and a man will match that. If he doesn't, then he sucks and bye, right? Stop giving in so easily to these men. They're gonna naturally test you. Don't be so desperate for their attention and for their love and for their validation. He's just a man. There's plenty of them. Plenty of them. You are always the prize. Always, always, always the prize. Watch how much of a difference these men will treat you when you treat yourself like you are the most amazing top priority ever, and that you love yourself and that you're so obsessed with yourself. They will be obsessed with you if you're obsessed with you. If you don't believe it right now, you will eventually. That's just how the mind naturally works. You tell yourself something enough times, you're gonna believe it. Just remember to stay safe, and I love you.
Okay. So I see we all getting on here saying stupid stuff. We just gonna get on here and say some dumb stuff. I mean, regardless of if it's true or not.
Some people will tell me that the reason why I have such bad luck in dating is because of the guys that I'm choosing, but I think that's kind of ridiculous, because how am I supposed to know that these guys are going to disappoint me in the end? It's not like I saw the red flags and chose to ignore them. No, I genuinely believe that these guys were good people and that I could trust them and that they weren't going to break my heart, and they made me feel that way because of the way that they acted. And if I had known that they were going to break my heart, I obviously wouldn't have gotten into relationships with them.
Man, just take accountability. At some point in time, you got to say, man, I didn't see the red flags, but then it comes around again and again and again. Modern women never learn, and so they keep on getting pumped and dumped by Chad. At some point in time, you have to take accountability for what you're doing out here.
One of the worst things, this is just one of the worst things to come out of red pill content, is the fact that men are so desperate to not look desperate. Like, they don't even know how to show interest in anybody anymore. They don't want to, because they are so afraid of looking desperate, because the fucking red pill content men told them that they look desperate for being nice and looking interested in the women that they actually like. And that shit just like is the funniest thing to me, but at the same time it's like, damn, you guys made it real easy for the guys who are not fucking dumb and brain dead and emotionally unintelligent. Like, you guys made it real easy for guys who are just normal as fuck. Fucking just work on yourself, dude. Just do it.
Well, they say you look desperate because you are, because you're simping. Now, if you're showing genuine interest to a woman and she's showing that back to you, then that's not desperation. That's two people going after each other. That's two people pursuing each other, or one is pursuing and the other is reciprocating. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. But if it's only one-sided, that's desperate.
I don't mean to be a bitch, but I'm going to say this with my whole fucking chest. I feel like the active participants in the Facebook group, Are We Dating the Same Guy, are fucking lunatics. Not all of them, but most of them. I get it. I get the group was intended to expose men who are being just awful and disingenuous, but that's straight up not what the group is anymore. More often than not, I would argue what's being said isn't even truthful. It's a lot of bruised egos, bitter, desperate, insecure women who are upset and jealous that things didn't go their way, and they potentially see him with someone else, or they're just pissed off again that they didn't get what they wanted, and they are exaggerating or straight up just lying, starting rumors that aren't even true. Like, I've known a couple people, like friends of mine, who've been in that group, and I've seen the receipts. And yo, if the guys made a group about the girls, some of you would be toast. The lying, it needs to stop. It's like, this is supposed to be the girls looking out for the girls, but it's mainly just like TMZ drama starting bullshit that's, you don't even know what you can trust anymore. It's like not genuine on the girls' side either. And the fact that we live in a society where men can make no mistakes is wild. Also, that it's posted anonymously, you're a coward for that. Publicly, like online, that's just unsavory, especially if what's being said is exaggerated or not the truth, which I've seen happen several times. So count your blessings, ladies. Let's hope there's no groups about the girls being created, because, and honestly, I would say the men are so justified to do that, because some of y'all need to be exposed because you're the fucking drama. You're the one lying, and like also who's like honestly a lunatic for real. And I don't want to bring too much anecdotal evidence into this whole shebang, but just take what is said in that group by a grain of salt, like I've been saying. And also, low-key, if you're with someone where you feel so insecure in the relationship dynamic that you feel the need to go join a support group on Facebook to ask other bitches in your city if they're potentially dating this dude, shocker, he's probably just not the guy for you. Like, just gonna throw that out there. You're going to post and you're either going to get temporary validation, but you still don't trust him, or you're just going to have a ton of girls like drag him and validate what you're feeling, which tells me you can't self-validate. So be more secure than that. Big sister advice.
Men used to be obsessed with women. We used to be a proper country. Men used to be obsessed with women. It used to be in our music. It used to be in our shows and the movies. Like, men used to be begging and pleading for a woman's forgiveness. Like, baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, baby. Yes, men used to be doing that. What happened to that? What happened? What happened to that? Can we, as a collective, as a whole, come to the realization that these men aren't obsessed with us no more? What's happening?
You want to know why your man is not obsessed with you? I'll tell you right now. It's because you don't have a life of your own. All you do is center your entire life around this man. You wait for him to text you. You literally just think about him all day long. And let me tell you, honey, that is a recipe for disaster, okay? So what you need to do is centralize yourself. Focus on your own self, your own life, your own friends, your career, your business, your hobbies, whatever makes you happy. And just watch the magic happen, okay? Thing changes and how the energy shifts. You're welcome.
Can we please have a rundown of how being selfish is going to help a relationship? How being selfish is going to help that man become more obsessed with you? And where y'all are getting this dumb logic?
Men are no longer obsessed with women anymore. Do y'all feel that way?
100%.
Why do you think that is?
The reason they not obsessed is because, I hate to say it again, and I hate to seem like I'm being judgmental to women when I'm a woman myself, but I feel like social media and there's no mystery. I feel like a lot of things that we as women as a whole that we say that maybe sometimes is just something that we're just putting on social media. It was just a joke. I feel like guys really be turned off by those things. Like, they really judging you by the things you put up.
The boy quotes, right? Like,
yeah, like I feel like they're really judging you, like, by those things.
They watch from afar.
And also, like, just feeling like it's this pressure of feeling like they gotta take care of you. I wouldn't want to be obsessed with nobody if I feel like as soon as I walk to them, they're gonna be like, my light bill is due.
These men are secretly competing with us. Or maybe it's not so much of a secret now. Maybe they're pretty open and obvious, and we know that they are competing with us. Did y'all see that video of that man saying, I see why Who Gonna Be the Man became very popular? Because who are going to be the men? Because all the men want to be women. Or all the men want to compete with women. They don't want to compete in their masculine roles. They don't want to dominate masculinity. They literally want to dominate femininity. And one of his points was that... which I heard about this. My friend told me this. They have created a male version of a T-app competition. Remember when Shara 7 became really popular and her thing is sprinkle, sprinkle, and that man literally jumped on TikTok and was like, drizzle, drizzle. Why whenever we have something, y'all have to have that same something? Why can't you create your own things in your own field and have your own interest? Why does your growth have to bite off of what women do? Is it because you lack innovation? Because you lack creativity? Are you jealous of the intelligence that we have? Because the competition is obvious, and what's more sad is that y'all don't even care about being men anymore. You're not trying to be men. You literally just want to outdo women as women in their roles, in their positions. I don't know where this wave of hating women came from. I feel like maybe it always existed and it's just a little bit more prominent now, or where men are more vocal about it because of videos and social media and the way that we can actually openly speak our minds now. I do believe to a certain extent, men probably always hated women because women didn't have any rights. This is the most free that women have ever been, and it's like men are angry at us for it. It's like they're mad because we have freedom. It's like they're mad because we have rights. And because we have freedom and because we have rights and because certain violent acts against women are punishable by law, even though they're not always taken seriously, and depending on the men that you're dealing with, how far it goes, there's like this whole wave of men who don't desire to be men at all. And instead they desire to compete with women in women fields. They could decide to compete with women in women-led roles. Instead of deciding to be men, they've chosen to be women, or at least act like women, or at least participate in women-led roles. So I guess the question of the century is, I guess we're not going to have any men. We're all going to be girls, and we're all going to be sisters, sister wives, since men have given up on trying to be men. As a healthy man, which I believe those still exist, this video isn't for you. So maybe we should stop allowing them to compete and we should just allow them to join, since that's truly what their heart's desire anyway.
You don't hear yourself. You don't hear how dumb you sound. Whoever said that, I think I know who that is. He's a loser. And he's a simp as well. Just cut down all the nonsense. You know what I mean? That's what you are. Stop saying stupid stuff like that. Drizzle, all jokes aside, was just saying, hey, if we got to spend all this money on you, you have to reciprocate. That message was preached over and over again, and you don't want to reciprocate. That's the bottom line. Who gonna be the boys? I don't know who gonna be the boys, but I'm not gonna be a sucker. I'm not gonna be a trick. But you gotta answer that question.
Men aren't obsessed with women anymore. It's weird. Speaking as a guy who notoriously has been obsessed with women, you can ask most of my close friends. It's actually a very serious issue. There's other things to obsess over. Your ambitions, your dreams, your goals, improving. Really all that is synonymous with the same thing, but I just feel like that just goes first, right? Who says you can't have multiple obsessions? Why can't I be obsessed with continuous self-improvement and women and anime and music? Why can't I be obsessed with all those things? And then I found a girl who's also obsessed with the other two, really all of them if I can help it. And we'd be cool. Oh yeah, don't forget being obsessed with peace. Well, I'll take it back. I don't know, happiness, peace or happiness. If you can't find both, find one. But there's a lot more to be obsessed about as well.
A nonchalant man is not for me. Not at all, Rachel. So what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Anywhere that you are not. Chalant is the bread and butter. There's nothing more attractive than a man who is painfully clear about how bad he wants you. That is the only abuse I can take. Like, give me the guy who's all, I made dinner reservations at 7, I'm picking you up at 6:30, wear a dress. Yes, sir. I just have way too much going on to be wondering if a guy likes me. Like, if you treat me like you don't care, I'll believe you. Case closed, you do not have to worry about me. But a man with a plan, a man with a map, where you can just turn your brain off and lean into your feminine energy and let him handle it because he is that guy and you can trust him to lead the way because you're going to be happy with where you end up. My God, aye, Captain, lead the way. And the rest, respectfully, can walk the plank.
And they say all that, be saying all that, and then be going after nonchalant men, Chads and Tyrones. This is probably her speaking after she's been dogged out.
She shows you the mindset of bad women and good men.
Women, we start labeling them simps, but we expect it. How can you label something as negative, but also want it at the same time? That is the woman's brain, and that is why we've basically gotten to this point.
For all the ladies in the back, this is called accountability. And when you self-reflect on your own mindset and behavior, everything changes of who and what you want. But will you do it?
Stop going to Miami thinking you getting in them clubs, because you not. And the girls that warned y'all, I don't know how many times, how colorist and fat phobic they are in Miami. How many times do the girls got to tell y'all? I mean, y'all really don't listen, especially when it comes to your weight. A lot of y'all, you may be able to get in them hood clubs in your city. You know, they call anything thick in the black community, right? Long as that butt big and wide, they'll call you thick, even if you got a stomach and big arms and everything else to match it. I mean, don't shoot the messenger. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I done been overweight and I done had people refer to me as thick, and I'm like, no, I'm bigger than thick. All right, y'all just call anything thick. All right, anytime the butt there, it don't matter if it's big and wide and misshaped, y'all would still call it thick. All right. That's a topic for a whole nother video. But anyways, y'all be going down to Miami and trying to play the same games that you play in your home city. And it ain't the same game. It's not the same game in New York. It's not the same game in LA. And it's not the same game in Miami. When you go to places like this, there's a lot of money generating from these men. And guess what? They want to keep the men happy. So what do? They bring in the women that the men want to see. And the men don't want to see women that they deem overweight. I'm just telling you what it is, all right? These men who generate all this money have a specific type of woman that they want to see in the club. And if they're going to be spending all that money at the club, they want to see women that they're attracted to. Therefore, they stand at them doors of them clubs and they filter through the women in the line to cater to the men with the money. They're going to keep them men happy because those men are what's generating all the money in the club. Right? They don't care about your little $30, $40 that you was going to pay for admission to get in. Those men and they're spending real money. So whatever those men want to see, those are the type of women that they're going to be picking out in that line to bring in there because they want to entice those men to want to stay in that club and spend money at that club. So even if it hurt your feelings, they don't care. They don't care. Is it right? No. Y'all always worried about stuff not being right. Sometimes it just is what it is. I always knew what it was in Miami, right? And even when I was bigger, I never tried it. You weren't gonna hurt my feelings because the girls had already warned you about how Miami is. Either you try to get into looking like they want you to look to get in them clubs or go somewhere else. Y'all act like y'all can't just go somewhere else. I don't know why you want to give money to somebody who don't want you in their establishment anyway. There's so much other fun stuff to do in Miami. I don't even know why y'all be so pressed to get in their clubs. But the fact of the matter is, they're going to cater to the men with the money and what the men with the money want to see. And unfortunately, they don't want to see bigger women.
So for reference, this is the video that she's talking about where you had some women trying to get in the club. And I guess they were too thick.
Yeah, y'all, I'm trying to figure out why I'm in the middle of Miami. Literally at what time?
It's 12:44.
At 12:44, we go to a club called Mona. Do you know this club told me I'm too dark and too thick? Didn't let her in because she's too thick. Dark?
Bitches have audacity.
What's really going on, my... Yeah, y'all, I'm trying to figure out why I'm in the...
I know y'all not doing this to DMV girls. Mind you, I'm a DMV girl myself. We ain't doing that. Hey, Club Mona, count your days.
And what's funny about this is I know they were saying something to the effect of, how would you feel if they had height requirements? As a man, you know, a lot of men are making fun of women, but how would you feel if they had height requirements and stuff like that? Well, maybe not height requirements. Maybe they don't have height requirements, but what they do have is money requirements. So if you don't have money, you can't get in this section. Well, why does that matter? Because pretty much all of the good-looking women are in this section with these men. They're bringing them and dragging them. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Y'all walk around here delusional, thinking that y'all are all baddies. You're all 10s. Now, I saw one of these ladies. Let me see. Yeah, I'm looking at her again. Maybe not. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, she don't look terrible. But I can see in Miami, I'm assuming that they're going to want a certain look. So if, yeah, she looks better than, I would say the woman in the red looks better than the woman in the, whatever that pattern is. Stripe pattern. I'm not even sure why you would wear that, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not even sure why you would wear that. You need to wear something solid. You need to wear a black dress. In my opinion, that's going to pull all that in. I mean, they're not going to let you in anyway. Go to a different club. I see what you're talking about, but go to a different club. Ladies' night. Women get in free. That sort of thing. So they're already telling men, hey, you can't get in free. You got to pay. Right? They're already, I mean, the club is them separating. They're separating. The business of a club is, I need to make money. And so in order to make money, I need to let the ladies get in for free, or ladies get free drinks so he can come. And then, because men are going to chase, then I make the money off of the men, because the men want to talk to the ladies, and the ladies are saying, well, buy me a drink first. But you already have a few. You already had a free drink. Why do I need to buy you a drink? Well, I want another drink. And if you want to talk to me, well, then give me a drink. Buy me another drink so we can talk. Give me a fair exchange. I mean, I guess I really didn't understand it as a young man, but now that we look at it closer, it was really transactional back then. We talk about dating as being transactional today. It was really transactional back then because, well, buy me something first. Show me that you're really interested in me. Buy me a drink. But what ladies are doing is saying, okay, well, I really don't like him, but I still want a drink. I still want to experience this. So I'll let him buy me a drink and then I'll tell him to get out of my face. Ha, 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 ha. So a lot of times these men stop caring. So men don't go anymore. Right. And so when you have men that don't go anymore because of this stupidity, because you guys, and I'm not saying this is the total reason, but you just have modern women in the club acting stupid. And I feel like one of the reasons is, okay, or they got stricter with their standards and guidelines. Because I feel like, once again, the woman in the red, she could have gotten in. You know, maybe not the best looking, because I feel like there's a lot of clubs that would still let her in. But in Miami, y'all, I'm sorry, man. In Miami, y'all are ugly. Y'all are, and I once again, I think the woman in the, if you look at her face, she's cute, right? But in Miami, with all the stuff that they be doing, you're not that great looking, to be honest. So you got to come with it. I know y'all thought, hey, we're gonna go to Miami, we're gonna do a little something, we're gonna take some pictures. You're not pretty enough for Miami. Men have to accept they don't have enough money, they're not tall enough, they broke, right? You gotta accept that you not pretty enough and you too big. Because I guarantee, if you was pretty enough, they probably would have let you in, big or not. But you'd have had to be extremely pretty for them to let you in Miami. Extremely pretty, right? And even at that, I don't know. I know what kind of woman they looking for. They probably looking for something a little bit more skinny than you, or women that look like adult entertainers, because that's what the men are going down there for. And you look like neither. That's not what they know their clientele, and that's not what their clientele wants. So, I mean, go down the street to a bar, dance with a nice Cuban man, and go home. That's about what's going to happen right now.
I'm so tired of the men gawking over Mina Sue's yellow dress. Like, if we're all being real, all she did was show her boobs. That's why they like the dress, because of her titties, her tatas, her melons, if you will. Because that is the cheapest looking dress ever. It's from fucking Zara, I think. Like, it fucking be, that yellow dress. Just say you were looking at her boobs. Bro, these men piss me off so bad. Just say you were looking at her boobs. Because every other dress she's worn, her chest is covered. Don't piss me off.
You know, modern women really know how to hate for no reason. They really know how to hate. I mean, if that's not them, then they get upset. Well, just say you was doing, I will say what I was doing. Oh, you're lustful. Okay. Whatever you want to say, but that's what I enjoy. That's what I like. Right? And not only that, it looks like she's presenting as somebody that's feminine. which a lot of modern women don't do. So I enjoy the feminine nature of a female, the feminine look, including her dress, including her physique, including the way that she carries herself. I enjoy all of that. Y'all don't want to be that. Y'all want to be masculine, cussing up a storm, tatting your face and your behind all up. I heard one woman say, I got a tattoo on my right butt cheek because that's what I want to do. And I like to wear thong bikinis. I like to be all out in the open with it. And if a man can't handle that, then he can't handle me. And a whole bunch of bull crap that she was talking about. Okay, well, since you don't want to act like a lady, since you want to act like a heathen, then I don't want you. I want to look at somebody. I want to admire somebody, because men like women. I want to admire somebody that wants to be a woman. And a lot of you modern women are not women. You are genetically, biologically speaking, you're a woman. But in practice, in mannerisms and behavior, you're not that.
So I endured something today. And I'm going to kind of speak on it without giving too much detail. But it bothered me a lot. And that's what's kind of sparking me to make this video. I often hear about how men don't need women anymore, right? You know, and I often hear about, you know, men asking women what they can bring to the table, and you know how that whole conversation goes, right? I don't even entertain it because it don't pursue to me. And I don't even want to talk to men who even think like that, right? But that's another day for another conversation. But I'm saying all that to say this, what I endured. As much as men say they don't need women, I digress. I disagree. Sure, you might be in a position now where, hey, you don't need a woman for monetary things, for money, or, you know, putting you in position of certain things. That could be well enough. But I want to talk about value, the real value of a woman, and the difference in the impact that they make in men's lives. Like the checks and balances system. I'm big on the checks and balances, right? Because I feel like what you can't do, your partner, significant other, husband, wife should be able to do. It's a balance. Y'all even each other out. You might not be good at something, but they might be good at something. Vice versa, right? So when I hear these conversations on these podcasts, especially about how, you know, a man questioning what a woman can bring to the table, and I understand times have changed. But I'm big on your foundation and where you come from, how you was raised, right? That's also another day for another conversation. But I'm saying all that to say, I wish men stop saying that they need women, that they don't need women. Because unless, you know, you have the choice of having a partner of the opposite sex, of the same sex as yourself, then that's different. Just like women need men. I understand, you know, women being independent and all that. I do. Hey, guess what? I'm a woman. I'm independent. But guess what? I need a man. I need a man for what he's worth. Because there's certain things as a woman I just can't do. And that's what I endured today with a situation with a man and a woman. Your partner, the people you surround yourself with, your circle, your foundation is so important. It's so freaking important, man. As a man, have a partner, have a woman who can bring some type of value to you. I'm not saying she got to be the smartest crayon in the box. I'm not saying this don't have nothing to do with money. This don't have nothing to do with looks. It don't have anything to do with that. It's straight character. It's straight value. As a partner, find a woman that can have a value to you. And if you know, you know. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about how she can balance you and make you better and make your life easier and can be a resource. What you lack in, they can pick it up. what I witnessed today is a generation full of lost young people who don't have a clue. And even people my age, because I'm seeing a lot of people my age who still don't get it. But I don't have the expectation for everybody to know. I just feel like as a culture and as people, we got to do better. We got to lead better by examples. We have to be mindful of the things that we say. So when you say you don't need a woman, help me understand that. Because what I witnessed today, and I'm not saying this is everybody, but this is in most cases. If you want to be successful, if you want to have some type of balance in your life, because you can't do everything, you need a woman. If that's what you're into, you need that partner. You need that other half. Stop saying you don't need a woman. Because guess what? If you love your mother, if you love your sister, if you love your grandmother, you needed them. They made a difference in your life. They women. Stop saying you don't need a woman. Women hold value. Women makes a difference. Women get shit done. Especially if you got the right one. She can make your life so much easier. But as we all know, and I'm going to take it here, the woman, the black woman especially, get treated like shit. Now I'm going to hold the other end of the stick and say this too. We don't always make it easy. I'm going to say that. But at the same time, we get told about how hard we are. We get told how aggressive we are. We get told how masculine we are. We get told that we're angry all the motherfucking time. And I didn't mean to cuss, but I had to say that. But here's the thing. When you live in a aura of having to figure things out and having to get shit done, it makes you like that. One thing I can honestly say, we get shit done. We make it happen. We make a difference. We the other side of checks and balances. When you can't figure it out, we figure it out. So it will be really near and dear. It will be really important for some men to take a step back and say, you know what? Shit, I do need me a woman, man, because guess what? I can't do all this on my own. I can't figure this out. Or I can't do this, but my girl can, but my wife can, but my significant other can. You think about that? Sure. We may have attitudes. Sure. We not perfect. But one thing, I'm going to personally speak for myself. I am the way that I am because I know the value I hold. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I'm worth. I know when I come into your life, I'm going to make a difference. So yeah, I get to walk and talk and hold my head up like I'm the shit. Even when I don't feel like it. Even when I feel like I'm getting treated like I'm the shit. Yeah, I am. Because I have yet to have a man whose life I have entered into, whether we work out or not, where I didn't bring value to him, where I didn't leave him with something that he won't forget, where the respect is there if we work out or not. Because as a woman, I know my position and what I uphold and what I bring and what I'm willing to do and what I'm willing not to do. What I'm willing to put up with, what I'm not going to put up with. So no, for me personally, it's not about money. It's not about what a man can do for me. It's more so about how he treat me, how his character is, what difference that he makes in my life, what difference I can make in his life, what difference we can make in each other. Like, how can we make each other better? If I can't do something, do you got my back? Can you do it? Can you sit up and write this statement for me? Because guess what? I'm not that good with writing, but you are. I'm not good with public speaking, but you are. I'm not good at explaining things, but you are. That's a partnership. That's somebody that holds value, that brings value, that can make your life easier. So when I hear these men say, oh, I don't need a woman, bullshit. You do. Maybe you ain't picking the right one, because we all are guilty of that. But when you get that right one, you get that solid one, you get that one that's going to bring you value. See, everybody talk about peace. Sure, that's important. But I want the person that's in my life and even the people around me to hold value, to bring value, because that's what I'm going to do. When you bring value, you hold power. Not to abuse it, but to make a difference. I just had that on my heart, and I just wanted to say that. So I hope this message reaches the right people that it need to reach. Find you a woman that brings you value, who can be valuable to you, who makes a difference in your life, who can do the things you can't do as a man, can fix the things you're not that great at, if you allow her to.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, but I think, a couple of things that you said. Most men, like I said, they would like to have a woman in their life, but kind of what you were saying is, well, yeah, we have an attitude, we have this, we have that. Well, that's going to blow it out of the water a lot of times, is your attitude. That's what's going to blow. Well, I get stuff done. Yeah, but my house is not very peaceful. You got to think of when you look at people in the NFL and the NBA. Oh man, he's a really good player. Yeah, but he's too much of a diva. He's too much of a diva in the locker room. All eyes have to be on him. He always has to have the ball. Always. He's screaming and hollering at the quarterback even when he's not open. He's getting into fights with the linemen. He's on the sideline screaming at the coach. Not only the head coach, but like every other coach. I mean, the special teams coach tries to come and calm him down, and he don't want to hear it. Like he's acting a fool, and then I got to get into the press conference and cover for him. Everybody on the team, oh, well, yeah, we had to talk about that. And, it's just football. It's just football. People get passionate. And you can say that only for so long. Only for so long, right? You see people might win a Super Bowl with a player that's really good. And then next season, he's cut. Like, oh, he's being traded. Or they're waiving him or something like that. And nobody picks him up. Or a couple of teams pick him up. But then his career kind of fizzles out, even though he's really, really good, because he's a problem. He's a problem in the locker room. Really good. I'm talking about all pro. Talking about, if you wanted to, probably Hall of Fame. But it's just too much of a problem. And men are like, hey, we don't want that around us. You're a great person, but not at the expense of our locker room. We have leaders, we have people who have established themselves as people in the locker room to keep the peace, and you're coming in and destroying all of that. Once again, love the way that you play, love the numbers that you put up, but your attitude is too bad, and it disrupts our chemistry. So even though you just put up a game where you had 10 receptions for 250 and 3 TDs, we still lost because you got your numbers. But the dysfunction on the team was so bad because we had to continue focusing on you that everybody else lost. So while you get to go to the Pro Bowl and, oh, see, I had a good year, so the problem ain't me. No, the problem was you. That's how y'all are. Oh, I'm still going to the Pro Bowl, so I'm still getting money, so the problem ain't me. The problem is you. It is you. You're not a very fun person to be around, and I'm trying to tell you that. Y'all don't listen.